Hey, Vlog Nation. Sorry, it's been a while. 3 types of solutions, and what do those graphs look like? You should write them down. You have plenty of blank space out to the right or at the bottom of your page. Okay, just another 30 seconds or so. All right. Who thinks they've got one of the solutions? Yep. No solution. If you didn't have that, you should mark it down. If you did have it, just put a little check next to it. The graph looks like parallel lines. Perfect. Good job, Ollie. Okay, another type of solution. Mackenzie. Infinite. Infinitely many. What does that graph look like? It's the same line. Okay, so what does Mackenzie mean by it's the same line? So it's a system, which means we have more than one equation. So those equations would be, say it louder. The same. Yes. Perfect. That's okay. It's been a long break. Yeah. Okay. So why, I agree. Okay, Winter. So why does parallel lines mean that there's no solution? What's unique about parallel lines? They don't touch. So how would a system get a solution? They would have to intersect. Okay, so parallel lines don't have a solution because they, yep. Okay, so we kind of just talked about it. What's our last solution? One solution. And somebody different. What do those lines look like? Ron? They intersect. Do they intersect at one point, multiple points? One. Okay, because we're talking linear. Right, so these are linear equations. These are linear equations, which means they are all, what does the graph look like? They are lines, straight lines. Right? Okay. Okay. So, you will have a couple of those kinds of solutions. Okay, we're going to work through these notes. I'm going to do number one with you right here. The practice that we need. Okay, and again, if this is a skill that shows up on your math goal plan, okay, practice it. We have to rearrange these so that we can graph them. right? We're going to put them in y equals mx plus b form, okay, slope-intercept form, okay? So to do that, I need to solve for which variable? Y, okay? You do this wherever you need to. If you need to get some extra paper to do this work on, you're more than welcome to do that, okay? So I've got 2x plus 5y equals negative 10. Okay, I need to work outside in, and I need to do inverse operations. So what am I moving first? We're algebra 1. We should know this. We want to move the x over. Okay, if we want to move the whole thing, how do we do that? The thing that we do at the beginning. Exactly. A little more specificity. Winter, I feel like you really want to say it. No? Emma, how do we move the whole 2x? Is that a positive 2x or a negative 2x? Okay, so what's the opposite of a positive 2x? A negative 2x. Okay, what happens to the 2x's on the left? They cancel out. You're going to bring down your 5y. It's going to equal negative 2x minus 10. Why can't I put those together? Say that louder. Mm-hmm. Well, they're different terms, right? Okay, they're not like terms, so you can't put them together. One of them is a variable term, the other one is a constant term. Y'all are killing it. Okay, so how do we get the y by itself? What's happening to the y? Adi. Well, what do you think? What's with the y? 5. Okay. Is it being added? Is it being added? No, because you don't see an addition sign, right? Is it being subtracted? Is it being divided? Do you see a fraction bar? No, you don't see one. So you don't see any of those, right? So what's your only option? If they're touching, they're being multiplied. Okay? Brian, what's the opposite of multiplying by 5? Dividing by 5. Okay? So since we're dividing by 5, we have to divide everything by 5. So make sure that we divide everything by 5. Okay? What happens to the 5s on the left? They cancel out. Give us y. Give us y equals. Okay? Then we have negative 2/5 x minus, what's 10 divided by 5? 2. Can we graph this? I'm going to say not necessarily answering ability-wise, but are we done simplifying this to the point where it's in slope-intercept form? Yes, okay? So now graphing, now this will be, I don't know, the third or fourth time that I've broken this down into pieces for you, okay? So if you don't have this down yet, like if the questions that I'm about to ask, you can't answer in your head, you need to write everything down that I'm about to write, okay? What does the coefficient in front of x give us? The slope, which is rise over run. What does the constant give you, which is this negative 2? The y-intercept, which is where x is 0. Okay, so when I'm graphing, I can start out at the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where x is 0, and the y is whatever this is. So y is negative 2. And the slope is negative 2 over 5. Okay, again, I think it's easier to just keep the negative with the top number. So I'm going to go left 2, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if you need to do one more, you just go from there and do left 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that's your line. Nice and squiggly. But we'll pretend it's straight. Okay, are we done? We're halfway done. Only halfway. Okay, and these will go quicker if you will continue to practice your graphing. And this is why math classes are scaled the way that they're scaled, because you learned how to graph. When? Wow, 4th grade? Well, I am new to Oklahoma, so that might be true. I would imagine Math 7 and pre-algebra is when you learn to graph. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so let's look at the second equation. We need to get y by itself. Okay, so what are we going to move first? Yeah, we'll move the x. Is that a positive x or a negative x? Positive. What is the opposite of positive x, Malcolm? What is the opposite of a positive x? A negative x. Okay, so how are we going to move the x? Class? Okay, so listen to me. If you're having trouble figuring out your process, we need to continue to try to do a better job of referencing back on previous problems that we've just done. You just did this exact same process. The only difference are the values, right? So if I have x right here and I'm not really sure how to move that, well, let me look back at the previous problem. I had a 2x right there, and how did I move that? I subtracted 2x. So I just subtract x. You've got to be able to look back at your own work. Okay, x's cancel out. Gives me negative 5y equals negative x plus 25. Mia, what is being done to the y? What's that negative 5 doing? Do you see any operation signs? No? So if we don't see any operation signs, it's invisible math. It means these are doing what? Multiplying. Right. Okay, if they're touching. Okay? So what's the opposite of multiplying by negative 5, Emma? Yeah, dividing by negative 5. Yeah, the whole thing. Okay? So we'll divide everything by negative 5. Negative 5's cancel out. Gives us y equals. Negative divided by negative is positive. So we just have 1 over 5x. You could leave the x on top and it'd be x over 5. That'd be the exact same thing. Minus 25 divided by negative 5. Negative 5. I'm not picking on anybody. If you answer 5 on this, you're wrong. And you're off by 10 whole digits. Okay? 5 and negative 5 are different numbers, right, Adam? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Now, let's scroll back in. Sorry about that. I would like for you to graph this on your own. Let's see how you do. No, you know what? I'll graph it with you, and you can do number 2 on your own. Okay. So what is our, Audrey, what's our y-intercept? Look back at the previous problem if you need to. Negative 5, okay? So we'll put a point at negative 5. And then, Lizeth, what's our slope? 1 over 5. Okay, so we'll go over 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, over 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We comfortable with that? Hopefully. Okay, your intersection point sometimes will fall on a grid line. Sometimes they won't, and that's okay. You can go ahead and mark a little point if you want where it intersects. Okay, wonderful. Anybody notice something? Natalie, go for it. I did not do rise over run. What did I do? I did run over rise. Did anybody else notice and feel weird? Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay, so we don't have to do anything different other than just regraph these. Okay, I was on spring break as well. I knew that wasn't right. Okay, so your y-intercept for the first one was -2. That part is correct. Okay, then you need to go rise over run, which is down 2 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 2 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is why it is so important that you pay attention, because despite my sparkling record of excellence, I am not infallible. Right, Winter? Just eat your Pop-Tart. Okay, and then the other one, okay, y-intercept is -5. Then we go up 1 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one does intersect on a grid line. And then we'll go up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, in some of your homework, it might ask you for the whole solution. Okay. It might ask you for just the x or just the y. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Okay. What is the full solution of this problem? Anybody? 5, -4. So if it was just asking for the x, your answer would be 5. Okay? Please do number 2 on your own. I changed my mind. Do number 4. Smaller numbers. You said B is disgusting?
Right, no, it's like because the only one I've ever had was like a little tomato vegetable.
Well, yeah, tomato juice isn't like the best to just drink by itself. But that's like mango pineapple.
The berry blend. That's one.
Make sure you're working on this.
Okay, so are you subtracting? Okay, so you can't combine them. So it'll just be 3y equals -7x plus. You got to take the whole thing. You remove the 7 in, so you're just going to keep them together. Add or subtract. You would only split them apart if you divide. You're talking about the bottom line. I thought we were talking about the top. Well, yeah, you're good. Just do the, so now you have 3y by itself. Subtract it. You have 3y equals -7 x plus 27. Can't find that.
And then you go down 7, down 7. Where did the X go? Where did the X go? He's right there, but then it disappears right here. It's like cancel it out. And I dropped these.
You can cancel it out.
Oh, but I canceled this side out.
Yeah, so it goes away. That's what you want. But then you still have x right here. And you can't divide by y. You want y to stay. So you're only dividing by 3. Look over here. We didn't divide by y. Although you tried. Oh no, that's just the arrow. You just want the coefficients canceled out. You're trying to get y by itself. So you just want to divide by 3. The y will stay. Then you're dividing by 7 by 6. But like how we left this as 1/5. We left this as 4. That's 7. Now, be careful. How'd you move 7x?
I'm on it right now.
So make it
Thank you. I'm confusing myself.
I'm like Albert Einstein in his prime.
Once you finish number 4, once you finish number 4, go ahead and go do number 8. Once you finish number 4, go do number 8.
She spelled no like why?
Thank you.
Why?
So why are you coming with be 11.3 with sauce? What? Mr. Bennett? I think I got it. I got it right.
Rise over run. Do it. Man, do it.
At the top of my
Put it
line.
on the paper. You do know how. Put it on the paper.
Wait, so I go up.
I think I got it right.
So I want wishing. You go up. Pause for 3. You go right. Up. I'm gonna put it up here, Brandon. Check this one, and then you can go. Okay. I'm gonna put number 4 up here so you can check. Okay. First, I'm gonna rearrange the top one. Okay. I'm gonna move all. Well, here I'll just rewrite it first. So, this discussion came up. Okay. You don't want to split up the 7 and the x. Okay. So if you're moving the whole thing, it has to be addition or subtraction. It's the only way to move the whole thing. Because if you divided 7x completely by 7x, what do you end up with? Something divided by itself is 1. Okay. Something divided by itself is 1. So if you divide all of 7x by 7x, it just gives you 1. So you're not canceling anything out. Okay. To cancel it out, you have to move the whole thing. So you're going to subtract. Okay. Again, always reference problems that we've already done. You bring down your 3y equals negative 7x plus 27. We didn't put them together because they're not like terms. You're going to divide both sides by 3. Okay. 3's cancel out. Gives you y equals negative 7 over 3x plus 27 divided by 3 is 9. Okay, so that's our first one. We can go and graph where y is 9. And then our slope is going to be down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's a positive 3, so I'm going to go right 3. 1, 2, 3. Negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Positive 3. Okay. The next one. We have x minus 3y equals 21. Please pay attention and make sure you're checking your work. We're going to subtract x from both sides. X's cancel out. We have negative 3y equals negative x plus 21. How do we get rid of the negative 3? Dividing. Divide everything by negative 3. going to give us y equals 1 over 3x minus 7, which we can also graph, which is going to give us a y-intercept of -7. Then we will go up 1, right 3. Up 1, right 3. 1, right 3. Okay, which means our intersecting point is 6, -5. I can believe it. Please go on and do number 8 if you haven't started to do so already. You and the person that you are sitting next to need to be able to explain number 8, because it might be y'all that are called upon. Well, good thing we're going to start a new reading study growth plan. All right, so. What's the question? Well, if you're saying that, then what's the point of us even doing any work here?
That's what I'm saying. We have calculators, photo math,
How has that been working for you? Well, I've seen some of y'all's tests. I would not say it's been working great. Yeah, the thing where we measure to see what you know. A test. What? OMG. Brian, you hadn't read 12 books in the last 12 years. Guys, work on number 8. We're talking about how many books you haven't read. Yep. That's a tough one. It's a great suggestion, Brian. Y'all should work on number 8. Okay.
So we got Y equals A over. Mr. O's got something. I got something cooking up for Mr. Owens.
How's the 8 over 7?
The 8.
It would be 1.
I'm gonna have to. I'll see my dog. My fingers got my fingers start working midway, so I'm not gonna hit wrong.
So I add 8x to 7y.
My fingers start following my brain.
Mr. Bennett.
Is there an 8 on top right there? Then yeah. So 8 over 7.
Say that again.
Well, you can't go any higher, so it's
You need me?
That's what I'm saying.
So your starting point is your y-intercept. Yep. And then you go up 8 over 7.
Yeah. Just rise over, huh?
1, 2.
Yeah. Just got penetrated with 7 by 7. Wait. You did 8x divided by -7, right? So you did 7 divided by -7. What's 7 divided by -7?
Yes,
Now a negative over a negative can be positive, but it won't make a difference. It is positive right there. I'm just saying. Yeah, you measure y-intercept right here. The x is -1, it's got more y is -1. This one right here. You did it for the 8, right? No, it's -1. You did it where x is -1 instead of where y is. You see what I'm saying? And then I think that's going to make the line intersected at the spot.
Get away from me.
So that should fix it.
How'd you get to the 8?
The 1 over 7.
How'd you get 78? We're on 86. What is it? Why? Why bend up?
Okay, I'm about to put number 8 up there. You need to get your graphs on there.
If you're taking your toe, is it burning your toe? Burning your She get away
No, I've actually graphed. I don't like that when I did the line. Is that what I graphed? Yeah.
I did that.
But this one is always right.
That's like
Where 7 from y goes? By dividing. But you didn't divide. Yeah, so like if you were dividing, don't divide the y, just the 7, because we're trying to keep the y by itself. Okay, so dividing everything by 7. Not 7y. Then the 7 cancel out to y. You have x divided by 7. So what's going to be on top right there? What number is in front of the x? 1 over 7x. And then 56 divided by 7.
Wait, I'll put up wait. Oh no,
All right, number 8, I'm going to put up on the board. If you've been waiting, please get your stuff back out in front of you and follow along. Yep. Yep. If they're both positive, then it's a yes. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. Class. Quiet, please. Okay. If I'm getting y by itself, first of all, I don't divide by 7y. Okay, you've got to leave the y there. So I'm only dividing by 7. Now, another thing that I see us continuing to have a misstep on is if I'm dividing by -7, I have to divide everything by -7. Okay, so I'm dividing this by -7, this by -7, this by -7. Okay, you have to do it the whole way through. Should give you y equals 8 over 7 x minus 1. 7 divided by -7. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one is x minus 7y equals 56. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. It gives me 7y equals negative x plus 56 divided by -7 all the way through. which is going to give us y equals 1 over 7x minus 8. Okay, so if I graph both of these, we'll start at a negative 1 and go up 8 over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can do the same thing in the other direction. I just have to do the exact opposite. So I'm going to go down 8, left 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know this works because it still gives me what kind of line? A straight line, okay, relatively speaking. And then the other one, my y-intercept is going to be negative 8. My slope is 1 over 7, so it's a really flat slope. I'm going to go up 1 over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down 1 over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, which makes your solution negative 7, negative 9. Okay? Did I? My bad. I'll give you a hug. Okay. What's your question? I can only work with words.
Because that one, because I've been counting it and it doesn't make sense.
If counting doesn't make sense, I think that's probably a discussion we should have later.
If it's up 7, right? The line is over 8.
Not up 7. Rise over. It's to the side. Not up 7.
No.
Okay, we'll talk about it in a second if we need to. All right, guys. You should have time for, I'm going to say based on our speed, we have time for one more. Let me see which one I want to do. Number 12. If we do number 12, I bet we can get in one more after 12. It's burning calories. Yep. Say it again. Well, that's your slope. So it's your rise over your run.
Oh, wait. Oh.
What do you need? Yeah. Should be working on number 12. Yep. Positive or negative? Positive, this is number 8. Positive is up and right. Negative is...
It's already done.
No, that's number 8. Yeah. There we go.
The negative in front of the fraction, does that make both the numbers negative?
If it's negative in front of the fraction, just 1. So it's saying the whole number is negative. So when you're graphing, move that negative to the top. And just make that top number negative. If you make both of them negative, it's going to make the whole number positive.
So the top number, it will go down.
Yep. Okay, be prepared to explain very soon. So my concern is that we see, like, our first step is to get it in y equals mx plus b form, and it's already there, so we just stop doing anything. I know, I'm concerned about that. The easier problems are the ones that we refuse to try.
That's the roast. That's the roast, yeah. The third episode was so bad. I knew from the start. Hey, Mr. Betty, she saw my paper. She saw my paper.
All right. Let's check number 12. So all we had to do was graph these. Brian, what is the y-intercept on the first equation? Gotta be, right? -3. Because we got that subtraction sign in front. Okay, so it's got to be a -3. Gibran, what is the slope for the first equation? -1/2, right? Okay, so we're going to go down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Okay, again, something that you've talked about previously is if we're talking trend lines. If we're talking trend lines, okay, you need to recognize that a positive slope is going up and to the right, and negative slope is going up and to the left. Okay, so if you see that your slope is supposed to be negative, but your line is going up and to the right, then you messed up somewhere, and you need to flip that around. Okay, Audie, what is the y-intercept for the second equation? It is a 2. Good job. Should I give a high five to Lizeth or Brian on that one? Whoa, so defensive. Okay. Slope. Anybody? -1/2. Okay. Now, if you ignore my squiggly lines, we see that these lines are what? Parallel. How can we check that algebraically? The slopes are the same. If the slopes are the same, the lines are parallel, they will not intersect. Okay? Doesn't that make sense? If we think about it like realistically, right? So our solution then is, okay, no solution. You could write no solution. Okay. Both are good. Okay. You do have 10 homework problems. I think it's fairly obvious that we need practice on graphing. Okay. You have 10 homework problems. 5 of them are already in slope-intercept form. 5 of them are in standard form that you'll have to maneuver. Okay. No. You will get 5 of each. Yeah. There should be some on the back counter. If they don't work, let me know and I got staples. They are on CUDA.